Good evening. It is June the 12th, 2016, and I'm here to make a statement about the terrorist attacks this morning in Orlando. As a gay man, it is a little upsetting. But even more upsetting is the human suffering caused by continued terrorism. The people and the man responsible for this attack are cowards, and that attack was an act of cowardice. Nobody deserves to die like that. But they are not the only ones responsible. Our President, Barack Hussein Obama, shares a responsibility for refusing to acknowledge the issues of Islamic terrorism and the fact that this is the biggest attack since 9/11/2001. It rests on his shoulders the lives of the 50 people who died this morning. And I would like to call for Mr. Barack Obama to step down from the seat of president in disgrace and acknowledge that his lack of ability to fight terrorism and his lack of ability to acknowledge that there is such a thing as Islamic terrorism has costed the lives of these people. However, to balance this message out, I would also like to add that this is not a time of hatred. While it is true this is an act of Islamic terrorism, it does not reflect all Muslims entirely. So no lashing out should be done at every Muslim. But I think the Muslim community needs to acknowledge that they deplore these acts as well, and that they deplore any such act like that. However, I do agree that certain political officials, Mr. Obama, need to accept responsibility and resign their positions immediately. As for the families of those who died this morning, I can only offer my condolences. And for the friends of those people, again, I can only offer my condolences and the hope that if there's more than one person involved in this, that other person is brought to justice. Today's act was absolutely deplorable, and it's not going to end until we take a firm stance against all terrorist acts such as this, and against all hatred such as this. This act is deplorable not because it was an act of homophobic cowardice. If this were a church being shot up by a Muslim person, this act would be equally deplorable. If this were the same situation in 1994 where a cult leader released sarin gas in the Tokyo subways, this would be just as deplorable. Any act of terrorism is deplorable. It's an act of absolute cowardice. And the people who commit these acts, I can barely even acknowledge as human beings. And so we must remember that the issue today is not that it happened to us. It's not that it happened to a gay person. It's not that it happened to a Christian. It's the fact that it happens. And the cycle of human misery must end. Extremism of any kind must end. So, that is about all I have to say about this. And obviously, I'm just a little upset over this. I didn't even bother setting up my wooden screen. So, in summation, condolences for the family, and Mr. Barack Obama, you must step down and accept the blood that is on your hands for your lack of action.